Thought I'd update everybody on a few of the things we've been doing, just because we've been busy lately on it. So, like I say, we call it the Fun Buggy. I don't know. It's got a Bronco frame, so it's built off of an '82 Bronco. It's kind of a truggy, I guess. I built the cage off of the frame and kept a lot of that stuff intact. Start back here. I got this fuel tank a while back. It's never had a fuel gauge in it, so we wanted to put a fuel gauge in it. I got this sending unit off Amazon. It was, I don't know, I think it might have been 75 bucks for the whole setup with the gauge and everything like that. But anyways, this little thing right here, you just had to, I had to drill a hole in the tank, put that in there. It's just a float. You have to measure the depth of your tank and stick that in there, and it floats and then sends a signal through a wire to a gauge up on the dash. And I just stuck that gauge right here in the middle. I had a hole there I had to fill, so that's where it ended up. As you can see also, I don't know if I put this on the last video, but I redid a lot of the gauges. Took out the ignition, so it doesn't use a key anymore, which eliminates a lot of the hassle of starting it. It was getting old and wasn't really reliable, so I have just a push button starter, and as you see, a new steering wheel. Just kind of redid the gauges, put them a little more accessible, I guess, a little more visible, and also put in this cluster here, which has a charger and voltmeter. And I think that's it. Anyways, that's the dash. Okay, and really what I've been doing lately mostly is in the engine compartment. For the longest time I've had this old rusty single exhaust and wanted to put headers, but did never do it because it's a 390 motor. You can't in an 82, and you can't really get headers for that application. So finally just decided to go ahead and buy some that were, I think it's for a car with 390 with Fairlane or whatever it goes in. But yeah, they're hard to fit in there. So basically they do fit on the motor and they're the right height. They're gonna work good, I think. But I've had to clearance the motor mount. So right here, as you can see, this I've had to cut, and then I channeled that back in, and then I gusseted the mount so it's for strength. I had to bang in the floor a little bit, just making room for those headers. But this one over here fits now, so yay, I got that done. The other one I still need to start. I think over there all I got to do is I do have to do the motor mount and gusset. I just have to cut it out and do that. That side's going to be a little harder with the exhaust, just because the transfer case is over there. I'm going to have to route the exhaust up over by the transfer case. This side's just going to go straight back, piece of cake. So that'll be good once we get it all done. The other thing I've done that's I think it's kind of cool is the HEI Chevy distributor. So this eliminates the coil, the modulator, puts it all into one unit instead of having three separate things to deal with. This is supposed to just run, you just run one 12 volt wire to it. It's got the coil on it. And it wasn't that much money. It really was, I think its coil was 60 bucks, something like that. And it puts out, it's supposed to put out a little more voltage, I think 65,000 volts. And then I got these new wires and the new wire holders, I guess, whatever they are, separators on the valve covers, so it looks nice and should work good. The higher voltage kind of helps it burn everything that's in the cylinders and not have any issues. Even though I wasn't having real issues before, this should be a little bit better overall. The other thing I've been doing is we're going to put electric fans in. So we took out the mechanical fan. It's going to have two 14-inch electric fans, and that just helps, especially when you're off-roading for low RPM. The electric fans always flow the same airflow, while the mechanical fan at lower RPMs is less airflow. So yeah, it's kind of bad for off-roading because you never get that, you don't get that airflow at low RPM. So these will help. Hopefully in that situation, they just run off. I bought a switch that runs off the water temperature, so I can plumb in right here where this fitting is, and it'll turn the fans on at 185, and then they'll shut off at 175. So it should keep, and then I got a 180 degree thermostat, so it should keep the temperature right in that range of 180 all the time, hopefully. So as I said, that's just an update. We did do a GoPro video of it running, but the sound was awful, so I didn't post it up. Once we get it running, we'll do some videos of it running, and we'll do some videos of it on the trail, and go from there. So that's it for now.